Alright, hey guys, it's Jake here from Independent Tech, and today I have probably a pretty controversial topic, and let's just get straight into it. Basically, Microsoft has pretty much bought GitHub, and a couple months ago they released their own micro operating system based on Linux, and for anybody that's been into the Linux community for a long time, you know that there's been an ongoing battle between Microsoft and the Linux community, the open source community, and just all that stuff. And recently Microsoft has announced that it loves open source. It wants to build bridges and work with a lot of the bigger Linux companies like Red Hat, Canonical, all that stuff. And I get why a lot of people are on the defensive side and they don't trust them. I really do. But at the same time, I've seen what Microsoft has gone through the past 7 to 8 years. Just the internals of the company, all the layoffs, the shutdowns of certain divisions, and they really haven't had a lot of success. Like, I don't think they're financially doing bad. I don't think they're ever going to disappear like a lot of you would like. But the big thing right now is Microsoft and the Linux community, how they're going to get along in the future. Now, I think Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, from a business standpoint, wants to make Microsoft successful, and I think he wants to see the open source community and the Linux community thrive just as well, since they're going to be doing a lot of work together. They kind of have to, and I do think that Satya Nadella has tried to put an end to that kind of culture war. And I think a lot of people that a lot of the new programmers and all that, I think a lot of that's starting to die out. All these stigmas and stuff, which I think is a good thing, because I would love for Linux to come into the mainstream. I think it's still going to need a lot of people's help, like Microsoft. Google did a lot for Linux. So did IBM. If you think about it, a lot of our success has been because of bigger companies pushing it forward. And it's not a bad thing as long as they contribute back, which I think is fine. But, I think for what Microsoft really has to do, because of the bad blood that Microsoft and Linux have, is I think they should port over one of their big programs, being Microsoft Office. And there's obviously a bunch of different programs that comes in Office, and I think it'd be great if they did an actual port, not some BS web application or some Wine emulation. I think they should start from scratch, port it over. If they want to charge a subscription for it, go nuts. But I think it'd be good to know Microsoft would be taking one of their biggest money makers still, surprisingly, because when I worked at Best Buy, man, we used to sell a bunch of those Windows 10 services cards. Jesus, probably sell like 10 or 15 of them on the 7 hours I was there. But moving on, I think it would be good for Linux just to have it, just for the newer users to come over. Microsoft will benefit from it greatly. I think any of the main big distributions like Ubuntu or Red Hat will get more users because they are the more popular Linux distros. And, I think it would just be a sign in good faith. And I'm not even saying they have to do all of Microsoft Office. I think if they just ported over Microsoft Word, that would be just fine. Because at least they're porting over one of their big ones. It would say a lot right there. And I know there are other Microsoft apps like Skype and, some of their other things. And a lot of them are buggy and some of them are pretty good. I'm not going to get into the specifics of that. But, I think we're in a different era now in technology and computing, and I think it's just going to be a bigger battle moving forward. So, like I said, Microsoft has gone through a lot of stuff the past 7 to 8 years. Two bad operating systems like Windows 8 and 8.1. Windows 10 so far it's been a toss-up. A lot of people love it. They think it runs great. There's a lot of people that don't like the forced updates, the spying, all the privacy issues and stuff. And, I'm not going to get into that. But right now I'm just saying I think this would be a good start. I think it's not asking too much from either side right now. Because let's be fair, Microsoft is taking from the Linux community. They're even though they're adding, they are basing it on the Linux kernel, which is a part of us. I think it's only fair that hey, you know what, we're gonna give you guys one of our programs. Here you go, just to use it. And I think that would be great. I think it says a lot right there, and I just think the community would get along very, very well. At that point, the two communities would be just fine. I think where the people who are going to have a problem with this are the free software people and just the people that hate Microsoft overall. Like I said, it's a 20-year ongoing war. I personally don't care anymore at this point, between that war. I think it's stupid. I think, a lot of people in the community, the new people that are coming into the community, the Linux community, just don't care. I think there's a lot of older people in there that are stopping to care too. They're like, all right, this has gone on long enough. It's a different environment now. A lot of these companies want to make money. Canonical, even though it's Linux and it's all open source, they want to make money. So does Red Hat, so does SUSE. They're businesses, and I understand that. And Microsoft wants to make money, even though they make a lot of money from other things. But, they're trying to rebrand themselves. I think they're trying to become an Internet of Things company. I could see in the next 5 years of them possibly getting rid of Windows. Yes, believe it or not, I can see them totally getting rid of it. They've already stopped work on the Windows 10 team. They've told them, halt what you're doing, give them updates, just all this stuff. And it's I think it's getting to that point. I know it's just a theory right now, but I'm usually pretty dead on with what these companies do. It's very easy to call it. A lot of it is just basic business practices. You don't even have to. I mean, you could take a basic intro to business to understand. You don't even need to do that. It's very basic. Microsoft's not making the money they wish they could, and they understand that they're not doing good in certain markets attacked. One being their operating system. It's not doing that well. Yes, it's on all these computers and stuff. That doesn't make a difference. Chrome OS is becoming very, very popular, and Mac OS is very popular. I mean, if you look at Mac OS now, I think it almost owns like 30% of the market. And Chrome OS, I think they're going to adapt it into a full operating system soon. I don't think it's going to be this lightweight thing anymore. I could see full Photoshop going to it, the Adobe suites, Microsoft Word going on there. You know what? I think if Microsoft still wants to have a chance in any operating system, I think Linux is going to be their last hope, unless they find a way to make Windows work, which I doubt it. And if they do, kudos to them. I hope they do. Good for them. I don't want anybody to necessarily fail. But, these are just my thoughts. Do you guys think this is just a sign of good faith if Microsoft did this? I personally think it is. I would like to see it. I may use it. I may not. I mean, I use LibreOffice more, and I usually don't even use it that often, to be completely honest. Here and there. That's it, guys. If you guys like this video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you like my content. I do a lot of Linux news, conversations about Linux, tinkering with different things, Hackintoshes. It's a very general tech channel, and Linux is a very big part of it. If you guys want to have a conversation, drop it in the comments. Hope you guys have a nice day and take it easy.